Hi everyone, this is Donny Lowy from Closeoutexplosion.com. Today I'd like to discuss with you the wholesale handbag market in New York. As you know, New York is a great source for wholesale handbags. You can get some really good deals. You also have to be aware of what it is you're buying and knowing what the true wholesale price for that item is and what the true retail price is. And then you have to know your own customers and know how much you can realistically sell those handbags for. So if you see a Coach handbag which retails for $400 and you get it at a really good deal, let's say you pay for it $100, but if your customers are not going to be able to afford to pay more than $100 for that handbag, as good of a deal as it is, it's not an appropriate deal for you. And then you have handbags on the other end of the market, which are your more generic private label handbags. Generic just are handbags that don't carry any brand name on them. They could be very plain. They might look nice. They might be made out of patented leather, which is not real leather. They might be plastic. Now, those handbags are definitely, really nice handbags, but they have to be suitable and they have to be desired by your customers. If your customers are looking for brand name handbags, they're not going to want those handbags. On the other hand, if you're selling handbags to people who just either don't have the money to spend on expensive handbags, or they're okay with buying lower price handbags, then that could be a really good item. Whatever you do, make sure you stay away from knockoffs. Always, if you are getting a handbag that has a brand name, look at it, feel it. I mean, that's going to be able to help you tell whether it's real or not. I know that doesn't, tell you if every handbag is real or not, but it definitely starts, the examination in a good way. And then what you want to do is you want to ask the wholesaler, where did he or she get these handbags? What I do is when I buy brand name handbags, I only get them as either department store overstock or store returns, unless I'm dealing directly with the brand. Because if I buy a handbag as a closeout from someone, it's going to be very hard for me to know whether it's authentic or not, so I just rather not buy it. So I definitely recommend to you, if you want to buy brand name handbags, buy the handbags either directly from the brand. You're going to pay a higher wholesale price. You might find that if they have a closeout, so you could get it at a lower price. There are wholesale showrooms in New York that are owned by the brands themselves, so check out those showrooms, make an appointment, try to set up a relationship with them. Some of them will be willing to deal with individual retailers, some of them will not. Some of them are going to want a customer who can buy a large quantity, some will be okay with any quantity, but that's going to be, on a case-by-case basis. You also want to get handbags from wholesalers such as myself that have overstock and store returns. If you are going to get store returns, those are handbags that a customer is bought at a department store, let's say Macy's for example, or any department store you can think of. They'll buy the handbags, they'll bring them back to the department store, and they'll return them. So those handbags now might be in perfectly good condition, or they might be damaged. So you do want to see the condition of the handbag. Or if you are going to buy store return handbags without looking at them, then I would have either someone that can fix the bags for you, maybe a shoemaker that knows how to work on leather, maybe someone who specializes in handbags. That would be ideal. Or you make sure to buy the store return handbags at a low enough price that you could take out the 20 to 25% of handbags that are beyond repair and just factor that into your cost with other handbags. And the handbags that have minor damages, so inquire your customers beforehand, but you should be able to sell those handbags to your customers at a discount as long as the damage is very small. Maybe the damage is a small tear inside of the bag. Maybe it's a small stain. It's something that can easily be taken care of or your customer might not mind. So there are wholesale warehouses in New York, such as my warehouse, that specialize in overstock and store return handbags. Another thing you could do in New York, there are a lot of designers, including designers who have their own handbag lines. Some of those designers are very well known. Some of them are up-and-coming designers. I, for instance, bought out the inventory of a designer who was selling on one of the shopping networks. I believe it was QVC, but I would have to double check. And she sold me all her handbags from her previous season. So I was able to buy them at a very low price and sell them as well at a very low wholesale price to my customers. So that's also another option. Find designers who are up and coming. Find designers who are serving a very specific market. And when they're no longer selling to that market, or when they need to produce a new line for that market, they'll be happy to sell out their previous inventory. That's another good option. And then also what you can do is you can go to New York, go to to the wholesale district, which is also called the New York Fashion District. Go to the showrooms and ask them if they have any handbags which you're having a hard time selling. Maybe they took a chance and bought a certain style of handbags that just isn't popular anymore, and it might be very popular for your customers. Ask them if they have any handbags which might be slightly damaged and which they'd be happy to get rid of for a few dollars a piece. You'd be surprised what good deals you can get. I myself have inventory in my warehouse that just isn't moving, and if someone made me a decent offer on it, I'd be very happy to sell it out. So there's definitely many ways you can approach this market. There are a lot of opportunities in New York. You can go to the Chinatown to look at the handbags there. Just make sure that you're getting either authentic handbags, which it's challenging to know what is authentic over there and what isn't, so you might want to focus over there in Chinatown on generic or private label handbags. You could also go to the New York Fashion District, as I mentioned. You can also deal with the handbag brands themselves, and you could come to warehouses like myself and buy closeouts, buy overstock, and store returns. Thank you so much. Have a really good day. My website is closeoutexplosion.com.